Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Shadow Work Series, Part 3. This is about divine lessons. This is about wisdom of the shadow, where we talk about lessons from karmics in our lives, the roles that they play, and also those unspoken, unsent truths from an empath and from the narcissistic energies around us. So, what are the most important divine lessons for the collective this week? What's the most important divine lessons for the collective this week? It's always a lot of energy when I'm shuffling these. So many lessons, so many things that as a collective we've experienced, we go through, but most of the time we don't know how to name it, right? We don't know how to put a name to it or to understand it. What are the most important divine lessons for the collective this week? Give me 2 more, please. Actually, give me 3 more. Divine lessons for the collective. The role that the karmics play in our lives and how to address those. I always tell you guys, take what resonates, leave what does not. These may not be situations or people that you've dealt with. It could be somebody that you know. So flip it where it goes, but if it doesn't apply, right, roll with it. Still a lesson to be learned here, or even just knowledge to be had for future reference. Okay. All right, you guys. So we got distorted self energy. So this is about the fractured reflection. So this energy warps perception, twisting your truth until even your own reflection feels unfamiliar. Okay. It whispers doubts, fuels illusions, and blurs reality with deception. So be mindful. Are you seeing yourself clearly? Or are you seeing yourself through the lens shaped by past wounds and external influences? So this one is a big one because I feel like while our past does shape who we are in the present, it doesn't define who we are. So our past experiences definitely help to create certain characteristics about ourselves, but it should never shape who we are. And most of the time, that past energy is coming from people in our lives who have projected their own insecurities onto us, have made us feel that we should feel ashamed about a decision that we want to make that we know makes us happy. So now you have become the reflection of your whole family. So you don't even see yourself clearly anymore. So this is about getting rid of the external noise. This is about starting from scratch and refiguring out who you are through self discovery. So, not that again, the people in your life who love you or say that they love you, because let's keep it real, collective. This is a channel about being honest about the karmics in our lives. Most of the time, the people that we are connected to in a family dynamic, there's going to always be someone or a handful of people who say that they love us, but they project. They don't know how to show love in a healthy way. They're controlling, they're manipulative, right? They are the reason why we have trauma responses to certain things and situations. So, this is again about self discovery. This is about you figuring out who you are, minus all of the external opinions, and recreating a reflection of self that is not shattered or fractured. Okay. Seeing yourself clearly. Then we have friends connection, snake in the circle. I'm sure all of us have experienced this, a level of betrayal from a close friend or friendship group. Using established bonds as their way in, they turn whispers into weapons and loyalty into leverage. Okay. Through envy, manipulation, or hidden agendas, they work in the shadows of trust to create chaos. The lesson: betrayal rarely comes from known enemies. Not everyone introduced by a friend is meant to be one. So, this is about understanding who your enemies are. And sometimes we have enemies who live in our high grass. Sometimes you need to cut the grass down to see truly who the enemy or frenemies are. A lot of us have experienced betrayal in the last few years. This betrayal pushed us into our dark night of the soul, pushed us into our healing and our growth and our evolution. So, like I always say, you have a choice. You can become bitter about a situation, or you can thank the situation and the person involved for pushing you to now have to grow into the better version of yourself because you chose not to become a victim. It's all about perspective, right? This is what we teach on this channel: perspective. This is what I'm teaching you guys, okay? Because this is also something that I've had to learn along the way. Then we have the aggressive sales energy, the relentless push. The energy barrels forward, demanding, persuading, cornering until resistance breaks. So, whether masked as a charm or disguised as urgency, it takes without listening, insists without care, weaving in and out of your life through anyone. Ask yourself, is this a fair offer or one that has no foreseeable benefit? If not provided the opportunity to weigh your options, you may be working with an energy that doesn't want you to see your options. So, any situations where you are feeling rushed, where you don't have time to evaluate, to think about something, this is someone who doesn't want you to truly see the options that are really there for you. They want to persuade you and manipulate you to choose what they want you to choose. Okay. Then we have daughter, burden, heir. She inherited more than just your name. She carried the unspoken wounds of generations before her. Whether through manipulation, resentment, or deep emotional ties, she teaches that not all bonds heal. And breaking the cycle means facing the truth, not just rewriting it. So, this is for my divine feminines um, energies in the collective. The daughter wound, you know, when we are born, it comes with a level of weight and responsibility that you don't become aware of until you are a little bit older, until you start to understand the family dynamic, until you start to try to date romantically. Um, this is when you start to understand the connection between you and your mother or the person who raised you. Generally, this is biological because of the fact that you are an heir in this situation. And this is talking about generational curses. Um, the burden that sometimes you have to carry in order to keep tradition, even if it doesn't fit your values, dealing with wounds of your mother by being projected onto and being not taken care of, not receiving the nurturing and the loving and the comfort that you deserve as a daughter, as a child of a person that's also hurt and broken, that never healed. It can become a generational curse if you don't stop it, if you don't heal from it. Okay. A lot of women, I feel, have experienced this. Acquaintance, the trickster. Whether through gossip, deception, or a well placed jab, you learn lessons in who to share with and who to avoid. Even the smallest interactions can be practiced in how to protect your energy while sorting through the mask. So, this is about those people in your life who really just are in your life so that they can learn things about you, so that they can go behind your back and talk about you and deceive you, make people look at you differently, not trust you, make people question your integrity. There are a lot of trickster spirits around nowadays, along with that snake energy as well. So be mindful of who's in your circle. Be mindful of who you disclose your information to. We've had this one before. This one seems to be a consistent one that comes out in the collective messages: the police officer, the enforcer of corruption. So, sworn to protect, but drunk on power. They remind you that justice is not always fair and authority is not always righteous, either through intimidation, injustice, or abuse of power. The lesson was clear: discernment is survival, and not all who wear a badge serve with integrity. Then we have Father, the absent king. This is for my divine masculines. Whether he ruled with an iron fist or disappeared like a ghost, his presence or lack thereof taught you what protection should have felt like. In seeking his approval, you learn to validate yourself. So this is about my divine masculines or masculine energies who dealt with a father figure in their life that was very controlling and demanding, all the way up to abusive, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Or the opposite, where you had to deal with a father that was absent and it caused you to have to figure out how to survive on your own without guidance and support. You had to learn how to become a man on your own, or just with a single parent of a mother figure who cannot teach you all of the things that a male figure in your life is supposed to teach you or can teach you. Okay. All right. So here are unspoken messages and unsent truths from the narcissist and the empath. Let's see which ones we connect to here in the collective here this week. This could be you, collective, or could be somebody you know. Flip it where it goes. Okay. I trusted you even when the signs told me not to. I ignored the inconsistencies because I believed in the goodness I wanted to see in you. The number 16 could be significant. The number 7. That one resonates with me. I never needed you. I wanted you. My connection to you wasn't born of dependency, but of choice. I saw the value in you that you couldn't and chose to share my heart out of genuine desire. Number 33. I resonate with that one as well. I blame you to escape my guilt. Acknowledging my faults is too painful, so I shift the responsibility onto you. Number 37 could be significant. This is confessions of a narcissist. I rewrite history to protect my image. I alter the past so you question your memory, leaving my version as the only reality you trust. The number 15 could be significant. Confessions of a narcissist. I build walls, not bridges. My defense mechanisms keep me emotionally isolated, but in control. Confessions of a narcissist. I mistook patience for endurance. I stayed longer than I should have, thinking love could withstand anything. The number 4 could be significant. I resonate with this one as well. On this channel, it's about honesty, right? It's about not being ashamed of the choices that we've made in our life, especially when we didn't have the knowledge or know how to make any different choice. So this is why I always say in this channel, we don't judge. This is about acknowledging. This is about learning the lessons. This is about understanding so that we can work on improving. I find strength in vulnerability. Being open with my emotions is my greatest source of resilience. Number 12, the empath. I blur the lines between truth and lies. Keeping you confused ensures you'll depend on me for clarity, even when I'm the source of the chaos. Number 12, Confessions of a Narcissist. I resonate with that one and an experience that I had. Okay. All right. Let me get you your threads. So, collective, as you know, these are questions that I like to leave with you, that I want you to take with you to contemplate on. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. These may resonate for you, but they may not. Again, they may resonate with someone that's in your life. But these are always just good things to think about for self-improvement, because maybe it doesn't resonate right now, but maybe it will in the future. Okay. So I have two for you. Actually, I have three. I'm being called to pull this one as well. Okay. So let's start with the first one that came out, which is the secret garden. What aspects of yourself require patience and cultivation? What needs to be nurtured for growth? So, what needs to be nurtured within you, collective, that will allow you to grow? Okay. Where is most of your healing needed? Is it your emotions? Is it your physical body? Is it your mental? Okay. The sealed letter. Is there something unsaid in your life? What truth needs to be spoken or acknowledged? This is the last one that I pulled that I feel I was called to pull. So, looking at this one, I feel like there's a lot of things that people are afraid to say, especially when we talk about confronting our fears, when we talk about confronting those in our lives that hurt us, that created trauma. But this is how we heal. Is there something unsaid in your life? What truth needs to be spoken or acknowledged so that you can continue to heal, collective? I feel like that's very significant for someone. The poisoned apple. What temptation or unhealthy habit is drawing you in? What is its true cost? These are created when we suppress things that we don't say, things that need to be said so that they can be healed. These become our escapism. Substances, physical addictions, alcohol, right? And it creates a cost to you, collective, not to the person who caused the trauma that you are escaping from. It causes pain for you. So you see, it is not doing you any good to hold on to the trauma that was created for you, not by you, but by holding on to that pain and trauma that was caused for you and holding on to feelings of possible shame or guilt. It now creates this feeling of wanting to escape it using substances, using physical pleasures, using alcohol, instead of nurturing those aspects of yourself, healing those aspects of yourself, confirmation that need healing so that you can grow. So the pain of the culprit, instead of staying with the culprit, it now stays with you. Yeah, I have chills all over. Instead of you nurturing yourself so you can grow, you just implement more pain onto self because of the trauma that you did not create. This is a channel of no judgment, but understanding, acknowledging, so we know how to heal and how healing is going to bring us back into balance, bring us back to ourselves, bring us back from this distorted self energy, this fractured reflection that you did not create. All of these people in your life and around you created these broken pieces that need to be now removed so that you can see yourself clearly again, collective. All right. What is your wisdom of the shadow? That is the most important wisdom of the shadow for the collective. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, anyone who chooses, a lot of you guys are dealing with grief. Self-reflection is very important. That was big in the Shadow Work Part 1 series. So a lot of you guys may be experiencing some grief right now. After looking deeper into self and what you've experienced, it's okay to cry through it. It's okay to feel the emotion behind it. That's the point. So that you can heal from it, release it, be vulnerable. It's okay. Vulnerability is a superpower. I am brave in the expression of my full truth. I see the gifts of standing in my vulnerability. Vulnerability can feel risky. Yes, we are exposing our hearts, confirmation. We are exposing our hearts and opening to possibilities of rejection, hurt, abandonment, or being seen in a way that isn't desirable. When we can connect with others on real, human, messy, flawed levels in a world that values infallibility, the connections feel more nourishing and meaningful. We can only do that with a willingness to bear it all emotionally with full authenticity without being frozen in fear or what others will think. If we stuff down what wants to be expressed, we can get caught in spirals of self-isolation, insecurity, overthinking, shame, or doubt. Vulnerability is a radical act. Our weaknesses and faults are what makes us human. The world that has been created around us that values an image of perfection without wavering is in need of realness and a return to vulnerable, true expression. We are seeing this happen collectively. Women reclaiming gray hair and unmade faces, ads showing wider ranges of body images, ages, and skin, and more truths about emotion, mental health, and real life challenges being shared socially. More realness, please. It is okay to be human, to have emotion, to have flaws, to have fears, and it is okay to share all of that. In fact, here is your self permission slip, collective. Invite yourself to be you in all the truth, wildness, uniqueness that you are, and then share it with others. What layers of vulnerability would feel good to share? How do you feel hearing others share relatable vulnerabilities? How can you create safer spaces to share more vulnerability? This is why I do this. This is why I share with you, collective. I am not in fear or ashamed of my life experiences. You know why? It brought me right here to you. It allows me to share with you because I know that I'm not alone in the things that I've experienced. It allows me to show you that if you choose healing, that you can progress, that you can grow, that it doesn't have to hurt. Pain is supposed to be temporary. Pain is supposed to be temporary so that you can learn from it. It is not a permanence. And I do this because I care for you. Even if I don't know you personally, the collective energy is what I care about. Allowing people to reach their full potential, to be happy in their life, to understand that joy is available, that love is limitless. If you know you deserve it, and you should, but it's hard to see what you deserve when it is covered by all of the mess. Collective, thank you for being with me here on Shadow Work Part 3, Wisdom of the Shadow. I hope that you check out my new segment, Shadow Work Part 4, Wisdom of Wounds, turning wounds to wisdom to your superpower. But if this is where I leave you, collective, I pray that this message is useful, purposeful. I pray that if you need to remember how amazing you are, that you come back here and listen to it again. Create and rediscover you. Get a new mirror so you can start seeing yourself clearly. I love you guys to the moon and back. Until next time, collective. Bye, guys.